Hey friends, it's Kate. It is September 30th, and I'm just gonna include the next few hours in my little vlogging for the day one of Vlogtober. So I'm getting ready to head home, and I decided that one way to tackle my reading list is I am going to listen to the Games Gods Play. That's my book club book on my walks home, at least until book club happens, and I will have needed to finish that, which also means I'm going to need to do some walking during break if I only let myself listen to it while walking slash exercising. So that is the basic plan. We're here in my library. We got a book vending machine. I have been working on some, see, there's some blank, it's hard to see in this, but I've been working on some supplication updating in the uh, library catalog. Anyways, so I'm ready to head out. I don't want to stay here anymore. I want to be home. So I do know I have a bit of mail, a piece of mail. I had ordered a sticker advent calendar, but I wasn't sure if it would make it because it's from Canada, and with the tariffs, they just weren't sure. So it ended up working out, and it's arrived today. So that's exciting. And then I also changed what pattern I'm going to be doing for my Sherlock um advent. And I'm changing to, if I have the needles available, a I am changing to a knitting project. Um the reason for this is the instructions for the crochet one. I purchased the pattern and I was reading through them, and I was like, ooh, this is a little bit complicated and I'm a little bit confused. So there is a video tutorial. I'm thinking I already have one crochet project. So maybe I would do a knitting one. It does involve a lot of purling, but it's stockinette stitch. So you knit one way, you purl back, so on and so forth. And it's got some color blocks, basically. So I still need to figure out how I can split it up into 31 segments. But that's what I think I'm going to go with for now. Um, we'll see. I might take a couple of little minis that I have at home and try the crochet out to see if I can figure it out. So maybe that's what I'll do in the next few hours. I do plan on starting to open my advents probably around 9 tonight. That is midnight Eastern time. And the reason is because it is a work night and I want to at least wind up my minis and so I can work on them. I don't want to have to wait everything until I get home from work tomorrow. Just to be able to work on things. So that is my plan. But I'm going to get out of here before another parent shows up to check out a Chromebook. And I'll chat with you all later. Hope that you're having a fantastic day. Bye. Hi friends. It is 10:30, so an hour and a half later than I planned, but I was sleeping. My husband's on the way home, and so I'm probably gonna pick whatever home chef meal appeals to me the least and make that for him, and then just make myself probably some top ramen. That's usually what I like to eat when I'm sick. I don't know, it's my comfort food. I definitely feel worse after laying down for the nap, but it's okay. The cold is for real coming. Oh, sucks. It's gonna arrive in full force in time for break. So fantastic. Okay, but let's stop complaining because it's time we get to start opening advents, and I'm so excited. So I did find a size needles for knitting needles for the project that I think I'm changing my mind to. The problem is they are plastic needles and they've got these like knobby tips. So we're going to have to see how that goes. We'll have to see how that goes because historically I don't like plastic needles. Not for crochet, not for knitting, not for anything. But I do have a project I could steal needles from. The Nutcracker Advent that I started like two episodes ago. But I don't want to take them off the needles if I don't have to. So I'm going to try this for at least a day. I'm trying to find the box that they come in because I think they're like called Prism or something like that. They're supposed to be, they're triangle shaped, so they're supposed to be ergonomic, which I think is the reason I bought it. And the cable is one that doesn't, like, it's not all warped and everything, so like that's all good. And these do seem like high quality needles. I'm thinking I bought it at an actual yarn store that's no longer in business that we had in the town that, okay, so I don't live in actual technical Sacramento. I live in one of the neighboring town community things that all border. There's no breaks. Anyway, so there used to be a yarn shop that was in one next to it. Roseville. I'm in Antelope. And it's not in business anymore, and that makes me sad. But also their stock was never the greatest. I think the owner really only catered to what was kind of her taste as opposed to like what was popular. And that kind of thing is going to affect your business, just saying. But anyways, so let's open first the yarn that goes with that project. This is from my Sherlock Holmes. And the first one is the full skein, which is good because depending on what color I use, will really, what color this is, will really solidify if I'm changing to this project. I'll try to put in a picture here of what the project is. But it is more geared towards like more solid tonals. No. And I'm hoping that's what this collection is. That's usually what Forbidden Fibers yarns are more like. It are tonals. So let's see. Okay, so this is not a tonal, but it is very lovely, and I think it'll work. Yeah, I think it'll work. So this color is called The Games Afoot, and it's brown. It's very sooty. It's got the lighter color in there. And this is 100% superwash merino. Is what. And then I think there is our first clue. So this says, the first time I saw my stolen work lit up on a billboard in Piccadilly Circus, I almost laughed. Clarissa smiled for the cameras. Penrose toasted her with champagne. Harris stood in the back expressionless. I wasn't there, but someone made sure I saw the photo. She thought she'd already won. Later that night, Clarissa asked me to meet her at the Victoria Embankment Gardens. She said she was ready to come clean. I never came home. Oh, is this written from like the murdered person's point of view? So I will wind this after I go start dinner. I have discovered with my sock yarn that I was able to put this around my knees and turn the electric winder on the lower settings and not have to pull out my Swift. So that's probably what I will do with this and the other one that we'll open in just a moment. Okay. So then for the first of our dragon horde advent, ooh, a little Kit Kat bar. Oh, she did write the colors. I was a little worried that if there was a scratch off, like there had been, that I didn't get the paper, but the colorway is on here, and this is called Gilded Onyx. Oh, that's really cool. So I will get this wound and started. Yeah. So there is a little part of the scarf that starts with just the main color. So I'll work on doing that today. And then I'll be ready for the first contrast color. It is a smaller section, so, and then because that one only has 12 or 13, I don't know. I'm not as, I'll just open a mini as I come to it and try to have the whole thing done. I'm not going to necessarily stick to a exact schedule, because if I get more done during the fall break or during book fair week, that's great. If I don't, then I don't want to stress too much. I would like to have it done by the end of the month though. So with that said, I'm gonna go make dinner and then wind, and then if I have any time before I need to go to bed, because it is super late, I might get started on the first square of my cross stitch pattern. So that's all very exciting. That's what we're up to right now. Tomorrow is going to be a school day, so I will need to put in a Kinder Joy into my bag so that we can have a nice little Kinder Joy treat for lunch. And then what was really cool today is a couple teachers decided that, like, in between conferences, they would come and grade papers in the library. And so, like, while I was working on changing sublocations, we were able to just chit chat as they graded papers or prepared for their conferences, and I was doing my computer work, and that was just, it was really nice. It was really nice to not have to be alone all the time. So yeah, I just thought I would share that fun part about today. So I'll chat with you guys in a bit. Bye. I forgot to say about what I'm going to be choosing to listen to or whatever, since the month is starting. So, I think I'm going to start with the Cormoran Strike. I think I'm going to start with Cormoran Strike. When I go to wind my, the Games Afoot skein, and I start knitting that, I will switch to the Sherlock Holmes from read by Stephen Fry. The first one is a Study in Scarlet. So, and I will be tracking each of those as individual books, just to get my numbers up on Goodreads, because so because I need an improvement of those numbers. So that is the plan. I'm gonna go make dinner now. Talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Hey friends, it is 5:12 p.m. I don't know how it's so late, honestly, because I left work probably at 3:45, but then I guess I decided to stop in the grocery store while walking home, and my walk home is normally about 35 minutes. Um, they have out the holiday season eggnog. My favorite flavor is vanilla spice. Um, and so I picked up my first container of that. Don't know when I will drink it, not while I'm sick, but yeah. And then I bought a fresh loaf of bread, rosemary flavored, and I got some goat cheese so I could have some bread and cheese, and that was really delicious. I had a couple pieces just now. And then I also got a cold drink uh, to drink on the way home. So, okay, so the weather has cooled down, but we had a little splattering of rain, like very little, like little tiny splattering. But that always seems to like really clear the air, and then the sun was like extra bright and felt extra hot while walking home. Anyways, so I was a little warm and that's why I stopped. Anyway, I have done some crafting today. I made 2 octopuses. I made a tiny little blue one, which I forgot to take a picture of, and then I made this one that I'll put a picture of for the, the 6th grade student that has been my primary library helper for 3 years now. And this is her last year at school till she goes to middle school. And I am seriously going to cry so hard. Like, the girl has spent every recess, and I do mean every recess with me, including lunch recess, and many times lunch itself, for 3 years. I've taught her how to cover books, and she helps with that. She knows how to put books away. She knows how to check books in and out. She, this most recent year, she wanted to learn how to enter new books into the catalog, so we did that for a little bit. Today, she helped me divvy up all of the handouts and informations that need to go to each class for the book fair, which was a task I was really dreading. And she came after school because we're early out today. She brought her 2 younger siblings. She is 3rd of 11. So her sister's in kindergarten, her brother's in 2nd grade, and this is the first time those 2 younger ones were ever for free time in the library. And so the little girl, no. The little girl watched reels on my computer on YouTube while the brother helped count out some of the papers, and the 2 helped me. I had a stack about this big that I was weeding out, and so they scanned the barcodes to remove them from the catalog, and then they stamped the withdrawn stamps, and then they crossed off the barcodes, and it was so cute, and they were so happy, and I was like, it was so adorable. Especially the little kindergartner. Oh, she's so cute. Anyway, so as a prize for the 2 younger ones helping, I need to make them 2 octopuses tonight. The little girl wants a medium pink. I asked her light pink, or do you want a bright pink, or a medium pink? She goes, medium. She's and the brother wants dark blue. So I'll use some of my Juicy Couture for that because I cannot find dark blue of the Bernat velvet. So I will just use some of my Juicy Couture and make him a little octopus because I do know that there's dark blue there. And then I had made my 6th grade helper, Victoria, I'd made her this octopus that isn't actually for her. She's giving it to maybe a niece or nephew. She had another one. It's hard to keep track because there's so many kids in their family, and then now nieces and nephews. But yeah, so that is the crafting I have done. Sorry, I need to take a sip. Last night before going to bed, I did wind up both of the skeins I showed you. So this is the full skein. And then this is the no. DK weight dragon one. So I'm taking part in an event. I mentioned a couple episodes ago. Stop it. No. One barks and they all have to. Anyways, that's kind of like the game Mafia. Have any of you guys ever played it where there's a murderer, there's a sheriff, there's a doctor, although this version doesn't have a doctor, which is kind of weird to me. But anyways, so in this version, every night the killer kills 3 people. This is in semi-sane stitches, who got stitch counts lower than them. The sheriff is allowed 1 guess a night. However, if he or she guesses wrong, then they're killed and the sheriff position is up for grab, and there's like a stitching thing to apply for the position of sheriff. Anyway, so the cutoff time for posting your day stitches is midnight Eastern, which is 9 p.m. my time, which is in 3.5 hours. So I am going to set an alarm on my phone, and I will be working on square number 1 over here. And if I finish that, then I will do my single strand for the Halloween sampler. And if I should finish all of that before the time is up, which is really a pipe dream, probably, then I will switch to working on my yarn advents. So, the cutoff time for me for stitching today is 9 p.m. so I can get the yarn ones going. We're 2 days left of school, and then freedom for a week, and then book fair. So, yeah, I'll come back with an update in a little bit. I'm wearing my Halloween pajamas because it's the first day of October, and I want it to be seasonal. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll chat with y'all later. Bye. Hey, friends. It is 9:30 exactly. And plans did not go according to order. I stitched for 45 minutes or so, and then I got hit by like a brick wall of tiredness. So I was gonna lay down for just 1 hour, but then it turned into 2, and luckily I'd set that alarm for posting the picture, because that's the only thing that got me back up. So I managed to do 85 stitches, which is not a ton. This is a cauldron. So, and then I have to stitch the number 1. My throat has gotten a lot worse. I have a cup of tea here. This is this Sherlock Holmes mug that I got with that advent. I really like that. It's a nice mug. And I am having top ramen. That was a little noodle on the side. Anyways, I do put it in this mug because it's so skinny and it's pretty lower down. It will keep it hot as I eat it. When I put it in bowls before, or even wider, shorter mugs, it always gets pretty cold pretty quickly. So I am eating the chicken picante flavor. It's one of my comfort flavors when I'm not feeling good. And so yeah, that's what's going on. I'm guessing there's about 300 stitches left in this square. I might try to keep going on it because I really would like to stay caught up on it, but I do want to cast on both of the other two projects. So, oh, I'm 32% of the way through The Cuckoo's Calling. So I listened to that a bit at work while I was doing some stuff, and then on the walk home, and then as I was stitching. So I've been listening to that. I think what I might do though is look up a tutorial for the Tunisian crochet, because I've done it before, but it's been a while. And so just watching a visual about casting on in particular, might be helpful. And then, I might do that. So I will keep you guys updated. I do still need to edit and get this uploaded. So, yep, that's what's going on. I do think that this is a fun color for the smoke. And I like it on this fabric. I mean, I think that's really fun. So, one thing I'm thinking of doing possibly is, there's 2 other colors and then the rest is black. So I might do those 2 other colors and then just be able to fill in the black. I think that would make it nice and quick. So that's what I'm probably going to do. So yeah, I'll be back later with a little bit of update. Oh, and I want to at least cast on the number and maybe knit a row or 2 of the Sherlock Holmes one, considering that it's a 12 or 13 day advent, I don't remember which. I'm not as worried about staying caught up on that, but I do want to work on it every day. So yeah, we'll see. It is 9:30 and I don't want to stay up too late, so I'll chat with you all later. Bye. Hey friends, it is 12:30 a.m. I have caught up on all of the channels I am watching so far. I have added to my list for Vlogtober, so I thought I'd update you guys on who I'm watching. Actually, I didn't watch the video that the Bakery Bears put on Patreon. Sorry, it's gotten worse. Anyway, and that's because the video's on Patreon itself, and I had YouTube on my TV, so I didn't have that to watch. But Mrs. Stitches, I watched hers. She is opening an advent calendar, although I don't know that she mentioned where the advent calendar was from, but it looks like she's got an activity book and there's going to be a stitch along, and that's really exciting. I'm looking forward to watching that. Adelaide Stitches, which I can't believe I forgot to put her on the list to begin with. Anyways, she has days 1 and 2 out already. She lives in Australia, and I think, I could be wrong, but I think she puts out each day like at the start of that day. Anyways, she is like super fast at stitching. She gets a lot of stitches accomplished, and she is working on one project she's working on every day where she does almost 400 stitches. I can't remember the name of the project, but it looks really cool. I think by Tiny Modernist. It's a witch. I can't remember the name of the project. But then she also spins a wheel every day and works on an additional Halloween piece. And then she also had a new start for apparently, I think, on the first of each month, she does a new start. So that was really fun to catch up with what she's doing. I watched her Vlogtober last year, and then I watched some of her Vlogmas until I kind of fell off with Vlogmas just because of everything. We were having our family Christmas for the first time in so many years. And but then I stopped watching all kinds of Flosstube, so I don't know what she's been doing between then and now. And so I've watched a couple of her videos from September, but it looks like she has a lot of awesome plans and stitching, and so it was really fun to catch up with that. Then I watched a channel called The Knitting Project. I have to remember which one. Okay, because I watched The Knitting Project, and then I also watched one. Okay, The Knitting Project. I believe, did I forget to put someone on the list? I'm just gonna pull up my history real quick. Little Workroom Crafts, Adelaide, The Knitting Project, Mrs. Stitches, and Memily Weeks. Okay. She does, I don't know that I would really she vlogs off and on the whole day. So like her first video was 30 minutes, which, I mean, if you guys are watching this, I'm sure it's over 30 minutes. But so she'll share like what she's making for dinner, and she was talking with her daughter about like some costumes her daughter is making for some sort of production. And then she did a little bit of knitting, and so that was really fun. And then the Little Workroom Crafts. I love to follow this channel during Vlogtober and Vlogmas. She's just like, I want to be like her when I'm older. Full of life, full of joy. She does some cross stitch. She does some knitting. I think she does some sewing. I don't know. She does like some of everything. And she's just so fun and full of life. And she showed some of her shopping that she had done in the morning. I think her cats keep trying to steal some of her, she was gifted some crocheted pumpkins, and I think the cats are trying to take off with them or things like that. Anyways, I really recommend that channel. Alice, no. And then the last one I watched, and it wasn't her Vlogtober one, but she did mention she'll be doing Vlogtober, is Memily Makes. This is a knitting channel, and she was going over all of her past Stephen West knit-alongs that she had done, because I think the first clue drops tomorrow. And so she was previewing that and going over her past ones. And I enjoy Memily. Her name's Emily. And so the channel is Emily that starts with an M. Memily Makes. And she loves mysteries. Like mystery knit-alongs and those kind of things. And I don't remember if I watched her Vlogtober last year, but I did watch Vlogmas as far as I was watching. Excuse me. And yeah, she just seems like a really sweet person. And so that's what I was watching. My phone needed to charge, and so I turned off the audiobook and was like, well, I will catch up on Vlogtobers. And it was really nice, but it does mean that I don't think I stitched as fast as I could have if it had been an audiobook. But also my brain is like foggy right now. But so this is my stopping point for the night. Maybe I already mentioned that. I don't know. All I have left is black. There is a lot of black, but that's all that I have left. And I think what my plan is gonna be, my plan will be, is going to be, whatever. Tomorrow I will start on day 2. If I finish that and I have some extra time, I will come back to 1 and fill in there. Otherwise, I will wait until fall break and try to catch up. But I want to make sure I'm working on each day as it is their day, if that makes sense. Looking at day number 2, I will turn around and show the pattern for day number 2. It is a witch's hat with spiders. So a lot of blocky stitching, which I am grateful for. It's just like, okay, so here's what day 1 looks like. And it's a lot of the color. And so, I think that even though the hat is very much blocky, it's going to be more stitches than, uh-oh, I accidentally just crossed off some stitches because I was in the markup mode instead of moving. Oh, yeah, it's going to be 400 or so stitches. I did 200 and, let's see, 258 today. So not bad. If I was feeling better, I do think that I would have gotten further along. But that's okay. That's okay. So now I'm gonna send all the clips to my iPad, and I'll like edit while I'm getting ready for bed, and then I think I'm going to cast on the Tunisian crochet project and call it a day. So I will chat with you all later. I hope you're having a fantastic October. And yeah, I do love these burr months. I wish it was a little more burr here, but you know, it's better than July and August. So, oh, September burr had 0 burr, so whatever. Okay, I'll chat with you guys later. Bye.